It's hard to imagine a world without tools like email or instant messaging. It would certainly make communicating a far bigger challenge than it is now. But email and instant messaging come with security risks. Hackers follow the crowds, and with so many people relying on email and messaging for work and personal communications, hackers have been working very hard to exploit that. Hackers are constantly developing new tricks to help them overcome user caution. One of the most common hacker techniques is phishing, which we've covered in a separate lesson. Phishing uses convincing emails that appear to be legitimate and from someone you might know or trust. That email will try to trick you into clicking on an attachment or link that hides malware that will then try to infect the computer or device you're using. And of course, who amongst us hasn't had to deal with the scourge of spam? Spam can contain all kinds of malware and frauds and can be very costly to contain. And as long as you have an email address, it's almost impossible to avoid it. But incoming email isn't the only risk. Email is generally considered insecure unless specific security measures like encryption are put in place. So when you send sensitive or confidential information in an email or attach confidential documents, you're running a high risk that someone other than the authorized recipient will get their hands on that information. And the risk increases if you use your own personal email to send this kind of information. And as more employees turn to mobile messaging for better communications, hackers have followed. There are now thousands of different types of malware designed just for mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. That malware is designed to carry out all kinds of crimes, from stealing passwords so the hackers can access your personal bank accounts, to monitoring and stealing personal communications and sensitive text messages. Hackers can even use text messages to trick you into downloading malware to your device. And the same phishing techniques that hackers have used to exploit email are now being used to launch text-based phishing schemes. The attack is known as smishing and simply uses text messages to try to trick you into falling for a scam, downloading malware, or divulging your password. So how can you avoid these attacks? As with most attacks, it's all about vigilance, making the right decisions, and layering yourself in good security practices. Always treat email like a potential threat until you have verified otherwise. If the majority of email is spam, and most spam contains some kind of danger, then it's a safe position to take. Always stick to security policies on email use and messaging. They're there because they work, but they only work if you follow them. Treat email and text messages with caution. Never be in a hurry to respond to an email or text message that's out of the ordinary. That includes unexpected links or attachments, or that asks you to provide sensitive information like a password. If you're in doubt about an email, look for telltale signs. The biggest giveaway is that the reply to email address doesn't match the sender's email address, but any email that doesn't sound right or is out of the ordinary should be treated with caution. Don't be tricked by bogus emails and text messages. They might appear to be from a colleague or coworker or an organization of authority, like the IRS, or contain some kind of threat that you'll get in trouble if you don't respond immediately. If in doubt, double check first. Never, ever send confidential information by email, and especially using your personal email unless you have specific permission to do so or have approved security in place. Use the same caution when using your phone or tablet to send or receive email or messages. Many users drop their vigilance when using their mobile devices because they assume they're safe from hackers. They're not. If you're using mobile devices, so are hackers. Be especially careful about using personal devices for work. If you use your personal phone or tablet for work, make sure you're following any rules that are in place concerning what work information you can store or send on those devices, and ideally keep that to an absolute minimum. As with all security, the best defense is a mixture of following rules and policies, staying vigilant, and double-checking if something seems suspicious.